Hey guys, it's Steve with Ring and Steel. I'm here working on a little project, and I thought I'd start a new video series, the Gun Builders Rant. I'm working on inletting a stock, putting this Weatherby that I built together for a bighorn sheep hunt. I was one of the lucky individuals that got to draw a bighorn sheep tag in Colorado this year. I've been scouting, spent money on new boots, new binoculars, got new optics, and I was thinking about buying a rifle for this hunt, but I had this one, and I thought, maybe I'll just put her in a stock. I had plans to put it in a chassis, but we can put it in a stock and make it look pretty, make it look good. And then if I don't like it, one of the joys of being a gun builder is I can take it out and do something different. So, off on my rant. Let me get this thing out of my hands here real quick. I'm just going to drop it here into the wood. Sure she's nice and even. Okay, so my rant today is going to go and talk about one of the most iconic pistols in American history, 1911. This is a Kimber stainless 2. It's been doctored up and addressed a little bit. She runs really, really well. I don't know if you can really tell up here on my board, but find my marker. I can't find my marker. Anyway, right here. Trade 1911. This guy is going away. We're going to get something different. There's a reason for that. So, 1909, John Browning developed the 1911 in conjunction with the 45 ACP to go together to meet the military's wants for a semi-automatic centerfire pistol. The revolvers of back in the day just weren't quite cutting it. So, that's what he did. He developed a cartridge and a pistol to shoot it. And that was in 1909. It was developed or adopted by the military in 1911, hence the 1911. It is a damn good gun for 1911. But here we are in 2025. And I gotta tell you that 7 shots of 45 ACP plus 1 is in a single action pistol, completely steel. Again, like I said, it was a good gun. Many are still copying it. But in today's society, I don't really think it has a place. Not when you got the 2011. And so, like when it comes to competition, time wins the game. Time wins the game. And with 8 rounds, when you're shooting against somebody that's got 15, there really just is no competition. Which is why they have created in almost every discipline of pistol competition a single stack category. So it is one of the most accurate pistols that you can shoot. It's got a great trigger. The things you can do with the trigger on a 1911 are amazing. So, but again, you come back to 7 rounds. It's almost a revolver. Almost. The only thing this thing really has over a revolver is the fact that it's got removable magazines. It's much faster to reload, but other than that, I mean, you get 1 extra shot. So you're not competing with it in most competitions unless you're competing against in single stack categories. So personal protection, I mean, 45 ACP is an outdated personal protection round. There's just no other way to address it. It does the job. It certainly does the job, but the 45 ACP was developed to do the job with ball ammunition for the military. In today's society, outside of the military, if you're carrying a pistol for personal defense, you are not shooting ball ammunition. At least you shouldn't be. The military was not necessarily concerned about over-penetration, but we as citizens should be. So that, you know, there's that. You can get them in a few different calibers. This one I just showed you is chambered in 9mm, and that gives me 10 rounds, which is a little better than 7. And with the 9mm, you can, what do I want to call it? The 9mm, you have better options as far as personal protection. And you're not going to get too much over penetration, but you still got, with today's modern loads, you still got some pretty potent 9mm. So it's, you know, there's that. Then, you know, when you get into the world of concealed carry, if you're going to carry a gun all day, every day, and the chances of you having to use it are pretty slim, you need to carry a gun that when you do use it, you can use it proficiently. You can get to it. It's easy to work. You know how to work it. You're practiced with it. And that comes with any firearm. You got to practice with it. You got to know it. You got to know it inside and out. It needs to become an extension of your arm. So, but it's, man, is it heavy. Compared to other guns, it is a heavy gun. The steel frame, all the things that make the 1911 a wonderful firearm also make it heavy. And, you know, that's what they had to work with back in 1909. But now, 2025, we've got some pretty awesome polymers. We've done some stuff with different material. Like, I mean, you don't need to carry a super heavy 1911. I don't know how, I mean, well, you 230 grains of bullet times 8, 7, and probably multiply that times 4 or 5, because that's how many magazines you're going to need. And it's just too heavy for any kind of concealed carry type of deal. Now, it is one of the most accurate pistols. I will say that. So when you get into bullseye competition, it really kind of does shine. But even still, in bullseye competition, they've got a single stack category. So there's other modern firearms that are doing the job. Some of them may be single shot. I'm not sure. I don't shoot bullseye, so I'm not really up to date with how that whole thing works. So I can say that after having a 1911, shooting it. Oh, and that's one other thing, like, you know, that I do need to touch on. That, like I said, they do come in other calibers, you know, 10 millimeter, 9 millimeter. I think some of them come in 40 Smith & Wesson, but I'm not too sure. Anyway, the gun was designed to stop people for the Army with 45 caliber ball ammunition. And so when you chamber it in 9 millimeter, and you think, okay, well, 9 millimeter is going to be, you know, we've got more modern 9 millimeter cartridges, and that'll do the job. It gives me a few more rounds in the magazine. That's all well and good, but you still have a pistol that was designed to run ball ammunition. And most of the time, what I have found, when you start running hollow points through them, which is what you should be running, particularly if you're running a 9 millimeter, they just don't like to run. They just don't like to run. They require a whole lot of tuning, a whole lot of gunsmithing. I had to do a lot to that little Kimber to get it to run 9 hollow points, but she does. So you start off, you go to the store, and you pay 7, 8. Now I'm not talking like some of the inexpensive imported 1911s. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about a reputable Colt, Springfield Armory, Kimber, like the more reputable firearms. They're expensive. You're gonna spend $700 for a mil spec Colt. Easy. There's no questions about it. And what you're gonna get for $700 in a mil spec Colt is a heavy firearm with 7 rounds in the magazine, 1 in the chamber, that runs ball ammunition. Granted, it's a good place to start if you're really looking to build a really awesome pistol. Yeah, it's a good place to start. But for $700, you could get a 45 or a 9 millimeter that will run hollow points, is considerably lighter, and nearly as accurate for practical purposes. And when I say accurate, I mean, and practical purposes, I'm talking like what you would use a pistol for, unless you are actually shooting bullseye competition. So, whether you are shooting competition or personal defense or whatever it is, there is a better gun for what you are doing. There's a better, more modern firearm for what you're doing. There's really just no way around it. Excuse me. Boy, you got a little tickle in your throat. So, if you're shooting competition, or you're carrying concealed, or you're carrying, you know, like I said, there's a better gun. In my opinion, this iconic firearm right here, 1911, like I said, is a truly iconic and wonderful firearm. I've got a lot of flack for my opinion on this guy, but it belongs on the single stack bullseye competition line or museum. That's where this gun belongs. Or take it out and plink with it for fun. But if you're using a firearm for a reason, this really ain't it. Sorry to break it to you folks. I know. So go out and get yourself a good gun that does the job for what you want it to do. Hang your 1911 on the wall. Tell me in the comments what you think. I would love to hear. You know, like I said, this is my opinion. But yeah, I would love to hear what you guys think. I'd love to hear what you guys say. Like I said, I know when I was going to gunsmithing school and I voiced this opinion, I was nearly crucified. I'll tell you that. So let's hear what the world thinks. You guys, thanks for tuning in.